All right, so is this essential oil thing just a new fad or what? Let me say that essential oils have been around since forever. They were mentioned in the Bible, in Genesis, actually, in Genesis 37, when Joseph was sold to the slave traders, and his father was also buried with essential oils. Jesus was given frankincense and myrrh when he was born, and they were also used at his burial. Oils are mentioned 1,100 times, either directly or indirectly, in the Bible. And some of the oldest cultures used essential oils. The Babylonians, the Greeks, tons and tons of cultures have used oils. And it was only after World War II when essential oils were rediscovered, and now the science on them grows every single year. So, you think, well, I've used oils for years and they smell okay in a bath, but I've never noticed any kind of effect on my body. Has anybody bought a big bottle of lavender, or, maybe online or at a bulk food store? Well, there's no rating system in the US for essential oils. The closest thing we have is an FDA requirement that there has to be 5% essential oil in the bottle to be able to label it a pure therapeutic grade oil. Just 5%, and people can label it full-on pure oil. So all of the oils in the world fall into one of four categories. The grade A oil is a therapeutic grade oil, and that's made from organically grown plants, and they're distilled at low temperatures to preserve all the nutrients and all of the compounds of the oil. Now, grade B is our food grade oils, and those, just like our food that we eat, could contain synthetics, pesticides, fertilizers, GMO'd things, chemical extenders, and carrier oils. Grade C oils are what we call perfume oils, and they often contain adulterating chemicals or solvents in order to get a higher yield. So they can get more oil out of a plant by using chemicals, harsh chemicals, and some of those solvents can be cancerous, and they are in a lot of the store-bought oils. If you smell them, you might smell kind of an alcohol smell to them, and sometimes they're diluted actually 80 to 95% even with alcohol. Now, grade D is floral water, and that is just because it smells pretty. There's no benefit to it. It is usually a byproduct of the grade A distilled oils. So after the oil is pulled out of the process, the water is separated off, and so that water is called floral water, and it's sold to companies, and they may fill a bottle 5% with that floral water, and then fill the rest with a carrier, and then label it as a pure oil. Well, it's pure water, smelly water, and they added a carrier oil like olive oil or almond oil or some other oil, and they're calling it pure oil. So, be careful what you buy. Grade A is the only pure oil. The other grades are like walking to your fridge, getting a glass of orange juice, and diluting it 95% with water before you drink it. That wouldn't give you the full benefits of the orange juice, right? That's why you want grade A oils. The temperature of distilling is super important. For example, cypress distilled at just the right temperature has 288 compounds that help our body. But if it's distilled 10 degrees higher or lower, it only has 11 compounds left. So that's like overcooking your vegetables, right? You destroy the power of the plant. So one thing that Young Living does is we have a seed to steal commitment. It's a promise to our customers. So every piece of the process, from the seeds to the soil, to how we take care of the plants and weed the plants, to distilling and testing and sealing is a pure and safe process. So the plants, they get hand weeded. We don't use pesticides, chemicals, weed killers, and they're harvested at their peak. So they go through this huge, vigorous testing. Every oil goes through massive testing before it can be bottled and sealed and sent from the farm to your home. So before you purchase oil, check to see if the company grows their own plants and if they own their own fields. And if they control the entire process from seed to seal, from farm to bottle. Pesticides, pollution, previously farmed land, all of that can affect the quality of an oil. So why would companies sell oils so much more cheaply than Young Living? Basically, to save money. So if you spray your crop with pesticides, you have more crop to distill. If you use a chemical solvent to extract the oil, you pull more oil out. And if you dilute it with a cheaper oil or a carrier oil, you stretch the oil that you've distilled. So most essential oils are sold more cheaply because companies want to cut corners. Now let's talk about how oils are made. It takes a great deal of work to produce a tiny amount of essential oil. For example, 60,000 rose blossoms will make 1 ounce of rose oil. Lavender is abundant, so 220 pounds will provide 7 pounds of oil. Jasmine, it takes 8 million hand-picked blossoms that are picked on the day that they start to bloom, but it has to be picked before the sun gets hot that day, and they have to be hand-picked. So it takes 8 million of those hand-picked blossoms to produce 2.2 pounds of oil. Sandalwood trees, they need to be 30 years old and 30 feet tall and 90% dead before Young Living will harvest them. And I was fortunate enough to experience the Northern Lights black spruce harvest in Fort Nelson, Canada. The materials must be harvested between -10 and -30 degrees Celsius to get the best quality oils. That means the harvest for that oil only happens 6 to 8 weeks every year. So you're thinking, are they expensive? Well, a little goes a long way. So most oils cost between $10 and $30 a bottle. And essential oils could be sold in 5 milliliter bottles or 15 milliliter bottles. A 5 ml bottle contains about 90 drops, and a 15 ml bottle contains about 250 drops. Each application is like 1 to 3 drops, so you can get 45 to 90 applications in each 5 ml bottle. You can get 83 to 250 applications in a 15 ml bottle. Since we use oils by the drop, not by the bottle, that's the best way to think about their value. Now, Thieves Cleaner is made from plants only, and it costs about $1.60 a bottle to make a 32-ounce bottle. Now, I make mine in a 16-ounce bottle, so it costs me about 80 cents each. It's just a tablespoon of this household cleaner, just a tablespoon, in this bottle, and I fill it up with water. So that replaces multi-purpose cleaners, glass cleaners, floor cleaners, tub and tile cleaners, and everything else. You can't even get that price at the Dollar Tree. 80 cents. And much less in an organic grocery store. Organic versions are going to run you $4 to $6 a bottle to get an organic plant-based cleaner, right?